Just 24 hours ago, 50 Cent opened his mouth and said, calm, cold, certain. In that one sentence, he destroyed a marriage, a legacy, and a secret that had been kept hidden since 2006. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear could blow away all of your preconceived ideas about love, loyalty, and hip-hop royalty. Papoose, the man who waited for years while Remy was imprisoned and who showed her unwavering devotion, went live with trembling hands and red eyes and only said one line. Ray is now disputing everything, even though she informed me it was a lie and I witnessed the communications. Isn't just a controversy, it's a full-fledged betrayal saga, with the internet in flames, old film coming back to life, mysterious gifts, and backstage rumors suddenly making too much sense. However, nothing could have prepared the culture for this, because when 50 Cent, the king of trolling and petty vengeance, dropped his most recent bombshell on a podcast, no one was even listening to the entire hip-hop timeline. When it collapsed, the internet, the cheating scandals, secret babies, and hidden marriages. We were together before Papoose. The presenter hesitated, leaned forward, and said, "Wait, are you serious?" And 50 just nodded, cool, collected, and lethal. He didn't blink or smirk. Instead, he just looked into the camera and stated that. Twitter then entered DEFCON 1 with old backstage photos of Remy and 50, reanalyzed frame by frame Remy's 2006 freestyle on G-Unit Radio, now viewed in a completely different light, and recalled that award show moment where Papoose appeared visibly irritated as 50 gave Remy an extended hug. Let's go back in time once more to witness the depth of this treachery. That's because their connection was clear whenever they performed together, even when 50 Cent had just destroyed Ja Rule's whole label with a mixtape and a sneer, and Remy Ma was the first lady of Terror Squad, spinning bars that made male rappers tremble. However, by the time Remy was put in jail in 2008, everyone saw only one thing: Papoose. So nobody had any suspicions, at least not out loud. When she was finally freed in 2014, their reunion was poignant, legendary, and subtly a rap love story for the ages. The man who supported her wrote her letters, paid legal costs, and put his entire career on hold to wait for the woman he loved. He told the world, "Remy is my queen." 50 Cent just did 3 scenes, one with receipts, one with a history, and one without any risk of disclosure. The dark part comes here. According to people familiar with the matter, Remy and 50 vanished inexplicably just before her trial. It seems that Remy trusted her when she stated she lost it, rather than questioning her. You cannot make it up. In the present, the identical chain is once again for sale on eBay, where it is posted by an unidentified seller with the remark, "Vindy is a vintage piece once owned by a female rapper who dated a mogul. What happens if a man like Papoose, who gave up years of his life to demonstrate his allegiance, finds out?" When he went live on, spectators witnessed him simply cracking. There was constant tension, according to an unnamed stylist who worked with Remy throughout her return period. With Pap leaving the room and 50 arriving, the timelines are now exploding with receipts, old tweets, backstage footage, and grainy screenshots from a flip phone. It felt weird, like unfinished business. At a G-Unit after party, someone claims that it is Remy and 50 sharing a kiss. He didn't say much in the hours following 50's confession in the shade room, since the expression in his eyes spoke for itself and he didn't have to. This time, the attempt to gaslight the situation as though it were a simple miscommunication between friends was rejected by everyone, even Papoose. When trust is shattered, silence, lengthy pauses between sentences, and the expression on a man's face when he learns he committed his life to someone who gave their body to someone else, hurt more than shouting. This is where the scandal really starts to burn. 50 Cent posted laughing emojis and played men in the backdrop of his gym stories, while Remy tweeted Bible scriptures and used damage control in his remarks. But 50 wasn't finished. He said additional evidence would be provided, and you can know that it's already loaded in the chamber when 50 makes such a promise. A leaked voicemail allegedly from 2006 that stated, "You don't have to worry about Pat. He doesn't ask questions, surfaced online just as fans were beginning to speculate about what else 50 had planned. As viewers were still processing that audio bomb, the loyal soldier stepped away from the camera and held up a piece of paper that read, "DNA test pending, wait. DNA test. It sounds exactly the same." The tone is desperate and emotional, real, and the timestamp on the metadata is October 12, 2006, 2 weeks before Remy was charged. Let that sink in. Nobody anticipated it would go this far. Nobody thought Papoose would question the one thing he held on to more than anything, bloodline. However, when betrayal enters the conversation, everything becomes up for grabs. According to sources, the test isn't about his daughter with Remy or even one of his other children. Someone older, someone whose birth date lines up a little too perfectly with the time Remy and 50 Cent were allegedly together way back in 2006, and now rumors are flying that Papoose had questions for years but always dismissed them out of loyalty, out of trust, out of love. But when that voicemail leaked, the one where Remy allegedly says, "Pap, don't ask questions," that's when everything started unraveling. People close to Pap say he's been quiet, barely eating, not sleeping, and the worst part, he's doing it all off camera. Now, the man who once went live to defend his queen is now ignoring calls from media outlets, declining interviews, and shutting down studio sessions. But the silence is loud. Meanwhile, Remy is playing defense like her life depends on it, posting inspirational quotes and resharing pictures of her family, trying to pretend like the house isn't burning from the inside. But the public isn't buying it, because when the DNA rumor broke, the timeline exploded, and fans started dragging up old interviews, one piece of footage from a 2015 breakfast program in particular is gaining a lot of attention once more. Remy responds awkwardly and stutteringly when asked about her relationship timeline with Papoose. People are pointing out how she looks sideways when questioned about the year 2006, slowing it down and zooming in. Then there is the shaky, dramatic video from a G-Unit party, in which Remy is seen holding what looks to be the same chain that is being auctioned off while mumbling in her 50s. A man who looks like Papoose is seen departing in the background of that clip, but the situation becomes more chaotic. According to the same guard, 50 once showed up at Remy's hotel suite without warning, and she consented. He wrote in a private, direct message to a hip-hop blog, "Everyone knew something was going on between 50 and Remy, but it was hush-hush. No one wanted to deal with Papoose if it got out. Dude was serious. He stayed for over 3 hours, just her, without any entourage or camera crews." Those peaceful evenings are becoming loud news stories in the present. Fans pointed out that Remy Ma deleted an old Instagram post with a vintage image of Papoose cradling their child just hours after the DNA test controversy started to gain traction, even though she hasn't responded to the new charges explicitly. A planned podcast appearance was also apparently cancelled by her, citing mental health concerns. In an enigmatic Instagram live, Fat Joe, who has been oddly silent during the chaos, suddenly spoke up, stating that sometimes the people you die for are the ones who dig the grave. He stated that sometimes the people you die for are the ones who dig the grave, but he did not name any specific individuals. 50 Cent was having a field day, but now that the truth is out, even he can't control it. He posted a clip from an old freestyle battle in which Remy raps, "I keep secrets better than my enemies can blink." The caption read, "Not anymore," then deleted it, but not before every gossip blog screenshotted it within 15 minutes. Keep in mind that this is 50, the man who got into a fight with his son, who trolled Floyd Mayweather for reading aloud, so we believe him when he says more receipts are coming. According to sources close to his camp, he has voicemails, old photos, text threads, and even a signed birthday card that Remy allegedly sent him in 2006, one that ends with a heart and the words, "Thanks for always having my back," among other things. While that card is being authenticated, Papoose is reportedly making subtle moves. Circle. He recently booked a flight alone to Atlanta, the same city where his cousin lives and works in private investigation, and let's just say that cousin isn't on Instagram. If that doesn't say I'm finding the truth myself, we don't know what does. An insider claims that Papoose is considering filing for legal separation, but only after the DNA results are in. Until then, he's staying silent, staying still, and keeping a close eye on everything. What about Remy? Well, she was seen last night at a private dinner in Manhattan by herself, without Papoose or the media, just her and her phone, barely touching her food. In her most recent Instagram post, fans noticed that she removed her wedding ring, and the comments were disabled. The DNA test revealed that the child Papoose believed to be his was weeks of conjecture, silent looks, and online detective work from all corners of hip-hop Twitter. That sentence went viral online, and screenshots of the document began to circulate. Within seconds, the lab name was redacted, but the date and result weren't bold, clear, and impossible to ignore. 50 Cent continues to post cryptic messages that suggest there's one more thing that will put an end to this story forever. What could it be? Is there a video, a recorded call, or someone else who knows the truth and is just waiting to come forward? Papoose didn't even read the entire thing at first. He just saw the word excluded and dropped the paper, never picking it up again. Reportedly, he hasn't spoken to Remy directly because the result was silence and distance, with no calls, messages, or explanations. She allegedly sent a voice note to the person who raised him. However, it didn't land because, to Papoose, it wasn't about biology but rather about betrayal and being made to look foolish in front of a world that once hailed him as the pinnacle of ride or die loyalty. Unbroken and unchipped, the image is no longer there, and to make matters worse, the internet won't let it go. Memes are being created from old interviews, like that widely shared video where Remy, in addition to 50 Cent's constant laughter, Wendy Williams was told, "Pap is the only man I have ever trusted." Speaking of 50, he didn't hesitate to spike the football. He uploaded a video of me screaming, "You are not the father," with the comment, "I told you all," just hours after the DNA bomb was detonated. They accused him of being messy though, and he responded by posting a video of himself sipping tea. Legal insiders claim that although it is a classic case of petty inevitability, the situation is now beyond social media. Save his identity, finances, and what little money he still has left, Papoose has already gotten in touch with a lawyer to see whether a formal statement is required. According to reports, Remy is upset by the result as well as the fact that her inner circle is opposing her many stylists and helpers, who were the ones who first encouraged her. One even asserted that she would reject the truth at the end of her life if it were revealed. The comments are now leaking information, telling blogs that this wasn't a one-time mistake, that her relationship with 50 lasted longer than anyone knew, and that she buried her feelings for him to make room for Papoose. She never thought 50 would say anything, but he did, and now her world is blowing up. Brand deals are pulling out, and she was in talks for a new reality show spin-off. But one sponsor allegedly said, "We can't align ourselves with someone whose narrative is shifting so violently." This is a shift because what was formerly thought to be a story of redemption, Remy recovering her career after serving time in jail and standing tall next to a devoted king, is now being reimagined as something quite different. It's more than simply betrayal. It's a PR partnership, a strategy and silence-based rebranding, and a queen who never really parted from her first king. Now that everyone is talking about obese people, Joe went live once more, saying plainly, "I love both of them, but lies don't stay buried forever, and when they come up, they don't knock. They kick the door in." Even admirers have differing opinions. Some think Papoose should have understood that he was too good to be true, that no man rides that hard for that long without questioning himself, and that he is the last true one, a man who gave it his all and was stabbed in the back by the one person he dedicated his life to. Others vehemently support Remy, accusing her of making mistakes and letting her past dictate her present. They also suggest that 50 may be exploiting her for attention and that the industry as a whole is the true antagonist here, preparing to ruin Black love as soon as it gets center stage. But it's undeniable that Papoose has stopped communicating with fans and blogs, and that the loudest part of this whole situation is silence, because it indicates that he is done defending, justifying, and pretending to be prepared to leave for a bit. One acquaintance claims that he is taking a break from music to concentrate on future endeavors that will highlight his daughter, his family, and the aspects of his life that still seem genuine. Even though Remy continues to publish, things seem different now. A throwback here claims that there is only noise, nothing sentimental or personal, as though she is drowning in it, knowing that the apologies won't work this time and that the child is at its heart. Every source claims that Papoose will continue to support them in private, not because he has to but because he did so from the start. Unlike some, he remembers everything he said, but regardless, the damage has been done, and while 50 Cent walks away smiling, Remy Ma is left to clean up a mess that cannot be erased, only remembered because the internet doesn't forget. According to Papoose, loyalty is love with legs, and screenshots never go out of style. The truth always comes out, no matter how long it takes. The story ends there, as it walked away as soon as the mask fell. Or is it because, right when we believed everything was over, a new photo of 50 Cent smiling while standing outside a studio with a woman wearing sunglasses surfaced on blogs? The man seeking loyalty now stood in the ashes of all he believed in, and the quiet was louder than ever. The caption simply read, "Next Friday, it looks like someone's got another story to tell." It's not only about Papoose or Remy Ma though. It's also about how easily love becomes news, how a single confession can sabotage decades of trust, and how loyalty is dying out. Was Remy ever truly honest with Papoose, we wonder? Was 50 speaking up merely to fan an old flame or to reveal the truth? We assure you that this narrative is far from ended and that you will want to be present when the next part is released. Only here and on this channel did this messiest love triangle on the internet go awry. Please share your opinions in the comments area if you're still in shock and trying to figure out the betrayal, or if you're eager to find out what will be revealed next.